started with the name of Almighty Allah, the most beneficent, the most merciful. Today our dilemma of the talk is antineoplastic agents. You can understand this topic is of crucial importance for pharmacists, particularly pharmacist is the entity who has to explore this difficulty which is being attached with the humanity or with all other kind of animals as well. So our greatest enemy is the cancer, and another greatest enemy which has been engulfed us at this time, and that is the virus. And if you could be able to understand this thing, you can handle the virus easily. So I'll try my level best to let you to know what this is and how does we could be able to understand it and how we could be able to overrule upon it. So this is, as the name indicates, anti-neoplastic agents, anti-cancer agents, and wherever the cancer, we should have to look into it. Abrupt growth and lot of growth is there, and we should have to stop it. So now, in that respect, I would let you to know what are those compounds which are of crucial importance in this respect. And in that respect, as you can see, there are 5 fingers of the hand. There are 5 different ways to control it. And this transparency is important for you to know that these 5 ways are of crucial importance for you to understand and then intervene through the drugs into the cancer so as to avoid it in the human being and let the human being to be feasible in that respect. Now I would like to narrate it for you. Now in this respect you can see the chapter overview. The entire chapter comprises of these things. Number 1, antineoplastic agent describe the chemistry, use, metabolism, and adverse effect profiles for these are the things which are being discussed here. Chemistry, use, metabolism, and adverse effect profile for alkylating agents. Number 1. Number 2, antibiotics. Number 3, natural products. Number 4, antimetabolites. And last and least, which is designated as number 5, tyrosine kinase inhibitors. As I did talk to you, hands have got 5 fingers, therefore there are 5 different ways through which we can control it. But unfortunately or fortunately, alkylating agent has been omitted, particularly in pharmaceutical chemistry, but they are yet the domain of pharmacology as well. Why we have deleted? Do you know it? I would like to have a pause here. Alkylating agent, as the name indicates, it gets to be attached itself with the DNA molecule, and this again produces the cancer. For that matter, the alkylating agent would have been deleted from medicinal chemistry because they itself causes the cancer. You would be knowing wherever there is a nitrogen, and nitrogen has got a lone pair upon it, and that lone pair which alkylated itself with the various components of the DNA molecule is being entangled herein with the DNA and again causes the cancer into the human being. For that matter, this alkylating agent has been omitted, deleted, and obsolete from pharmaceutical chemistry point of view. Now the next is the antibiotics. Antibiotics are of hell of the fair at the moment, then the natural products, and then antimetabolites and tyrosine kinase inhibitors used in the treatment of cancer. Emphasis has been placed on understanding how cell division and cell death are regulated. That is the more important point. You have to understand the cell cycle. Kahan se it started and where it winded up. You should know what are those steps wherein drugs can intervene and you can stop the abnormal growth, what we designated as cell division, rapid cell division, and cell death are regulated, and how drugs may influence these processes as well as how cancerous cells may become restricted to the actions of, may become resistant to the actions of the antineoplastic. That means when you give the drug and the cells which are of cancers, they become resistant to the drug, we should know and we have to change a new medicine. And again, this is the domain of the pharmacist, that the pharmacist has immediately switched over to the new drug which could be able to frame fruitful and feasible for the production of desired effect. And our desired effect in this response is the cell division should be stopped immediately. Now the topics such as apoptosis, DNA alkylation, reactive oxygen species, what you designate it as free radicals, there should be a dot upon it, which indicates the free radical agent, and the role of growth factors in controlling transcription and translation are especially important in the discussion of antineoplastic agents. So these are the important issues which should be restricted. Topics such as apoptosis, I will give you the complete knowledge about the apoptosis, how does it start, how does it is being regulated and proceed on, and how does it can be controlled, and how you could be able to control the depth of the cell. Then the DNA alkylation, how does alkylation taken place and how the cancer starts. Reactive oxygen species, that is a free radical reaction which are formed such as chlorine, bromine, fluorine, iodine, such as sulfanols, sulfoxides and so compound which have got the two lone pairs upon it. They can entangle with the various radicals present in the DNA molecule, and it can attach with it and can produce the cancer. For that matter, the name has been given it as free radicals. They are freely moving, and the chlorine, for example, has got two electrons upon it. It acts as a nucleophile and attaches itself in a certain electrophilic substances in the DNA and causes the cancer and break it. And the same process is being used in here just to control the virus corona, wherein we are using various kind of disinfectant and so on and so forth. So now, and the role of growth factors, and this is most important. You might not be knowing about the growth factors in controlling transcription and translation are especially important in the discussion of antineoplastic agents. We have discussed apoptosis, DNA alkylation number 2, reactive free radicals, and number 4, we have discussed especially the growth factors which are important to control it, to discuss of the antineoplastic agent. However, in a wider sense, it is important for, look at, your book is saying for pharmacists to appreciate the role of these subjects in several other areas such as neurodegenerative diseases, mutagenicity, cardiovascular toxicity, and cell signaling. So this is the entire domain where you should have to excel and you should have to play yourself to control the cancer. Now, in this case, we have to move towards molecular medicine, but I am not going into the detail of that. But I have restricted myself in a way that there are 5 fingers and there are only 5 ways to intervene in the cell cycle. And wherein it can be intervened and how does it can be intervened, and that could be discussed in the apoptosis, DNA alkylation, reactive oxygen, and various other growth factors which does play a crucial role in this respect. Now, in this respect, we are going to start with the introduction. As the introduction says, we would like to say what is cancer, how does this cancer develops, how does we would be able to control it, and what sort of chemotherapeutic agents, what sort of radiation, what sort of other parameters could be used, and what are the stages, stage 1, 2, 3, 4, and so on and so forth, and how does the population is being controlled by it, and how the victims, particularly the old ages people, are for this. These are the domain of introduction, which we will be discussing in detail in that respect. So, an American Cancer Society defines cancer as a group of diseases characterized by uncontrolled growth. It has written group of diseases, not disease. That means various kinds of cancers are there. That's why the name has been given to diseases, characterized by uncontrolled growth and the spread of abnormal cell that left untreated lead to the death. Related to this definition is the term neoplasia, which is the uncontrolled growth of new tissue, the product of which is known as tumor, and these tumors may be either malignant or benign. We are not bothered about benign, we are more interested and more restricted towards malignancy, wherein there is disease and we should have to intervene by different 5 ways or 4 ways. One is being deleted, that is alkylating agent, but we have to intervene through antibiotics, through natural products, through antimetabolite, or through kinase inhibitors. These are the 4 ways through which we can intervene here. And malignant tumors have the capacity of invading surrounding tissues and moving to distant location in the body in process known as metastasis. You are well aware of it. Characteristics that being tumor do not possesses the treatment of malignant tumors or cancer has generally involved initially surgical removal. First of all, we should move towards the surgery, followed by radiation or chemotherapy. If necessary, in those cases where complete surgical removal is not feasible, radiation and chemotherapy became the only available option. The term chemotherapy in the strict sense refers to drugs that are used to kill cells and includes both antibiotics and agents used in the treatment of cancer. But it is often used to refer exclusively to anti-cancer agents, also known as antineoplastics. Traditional chemotherapy has been based on the principle of selective toxicity. Look at, this is more important. You have to use, look at, we are not moving immediately towards a natural product, but we are first trying to have least toxic compounds which are restrained in the antibiotics. We are not going towards the natural product which is very toxic and inhibit the formation of spindle formation, which is more toxic, more not reliable process. But wherever we don't have anything to be used, we have to have spent upon ourselves on the natural product. However, we have to use in that vincristine and vinbrostine in the form of sulfates. However, this has been difficult to achieve in the case of cancer cells because these cells utilize the biochemical pathway used by normal cells. This is the important issue wherein the cancerous cells got also inhibit the normal cells. That is the more important issue, and we have to have towards the most safer drug, because you can see ADME with the T. Toxicity is the most important, in particular in the case of clinician and the pharmacist, because the pharmacist has the domain to intervene the drug, and it is the clinician who has to ask the pharmacist whether we can use this in place or not. For that matter, we should have to provide the least toxic, more efficacious drug in this respect. In many cases, the agents have attempted to exploit the increased proliferative rate of the cancer cell compared with the normal cells. This is important. This has been difficult to achieve, even in a relative sense, because in part of the fact that not all normal tissue is slowly proliferate, and conversely not all cancer cells are highly proliferative. If you could not be able to understand, I will be available to you on my mobile. You can talk to me anytime, any moment, anywhere, and wheresoever you will talk to me, I'll try my level best to answer to you. So, as part of the definition, cancer is a group of diseases, and these have been traditionally grouped together based on the organ in which the cancer originated. So this is the organ. That's why disease is the word I will use. Cancer originated. Even this grouping is somewhat misleading, because all cancers of a particular organ may not be used by the same genetic alterations. This has important consequence for therapy. Because the ability to respond to a chemotherapeutic agent is partly dependent on the genetic abnormalities occurring in the cell. So this is crucial important. That's why you have seen in families diseases goes on and cancer transmits from one person to another, and one father to offspring, and so on and so forth. The primary risk factor for most cancer is age. Now this is the important issue, wherein we should have to look into it, and older people is more prone towards cancer. These are certainly other risk factors such as exposure to environment, toxins. Look at, that's why in the corona stage, what is going to be there? And those people who are above the 50, they are being said, please restrain yourself in the house. Don't come out, because there is toxin outside in the environment, and we should have to be aware from it. But generally, as aging occurs, the chance of developing cancer increases. How does this? This is related to the genetic component of cancer, so that even time the cell divides, there is small chances that an aberrant cancer cell may arise. Aberrant means abnormal. Cancerous. Aberrant cancerous cell may arise as a result of mutation or translocation of the DNA. This cumulative, so that these chances increases with an increasing number of cell division, and hence age is the most important factor. Thank you very much, my son and daughter. I will pray for you to be save yourself from this corona. We should try to avoid it and try to restrict yourself in the house. That's why I'm here in the College of Pharmaceutical Sciences in the classroom, and I'm sharing with you online, and most probably this will be sent to you online after a couple of hours. Thank you very much, and if you want to ask anything in this relation, I am all the time in front of you. Don't hesitate to ask me, and I've already provided you my telephonic connection in the class. Thank you very much. So nice.